Here we go with more Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass. We'll be visiting more side dungeons today. Overall, they've been really fun and worth my time. And from viewer feedback, your time. Sure, there are questions, some concerns, or a few, even a bit of disappointment, like with the toy box rewards. But I think that speaks to how well built this game is. That we make expectations because of how fun the ride has been thus far. There hasn't been any major betrayal of trust. Those dinglings fuck you, but I mean, like... I'm sure there's folks who enjoy that, just like there's folks who enjoy riddles. Let's see where the ride takes us next. You'll recall Cordelia Mouse. She's been missing. Last seen at the Unbreakable Bridge. Let's try to find her. Here's to hoping this area ain't too powerful for us. You will also recall that Mr. Cat was down here. Mr. Cat, previously staying in Smile, Cordelia had expressed some interest in Mr. Cat. But Mr. Cat didn't have anything to say to us, and when we tried to shake him down for his lunch money, he didn't react well. Understandably so. I'm very defensive of my lunch money, too. Alright. Get the notes pulled up. Although this is just an optional place. Alright. Off to a welcoming start. Green exclamation mark. Okay, the fact that we're even seeing green exclamation marks in one of these optional areas is a good sign that we'll be able to complete this. We got Thurgood here in Grimith. I'm enjoying the aesthetic of this optional dungeon already. Disturbing though it all is. Do any of you have stuff to steal? You do not. Something I need to do is... Well, I don't actually have to do it because Combust is right here for the pumpkin. Oh yeah, compared to the spiders, compared to the Mad Queen's area, compared to those souped-up mimics, we are in business. Business. That's right, Trey. Business. Alright. Steal an uncomfortable couch. You know, I feel like I could have completed one of these monster sets by now if I had been diligent in writing down where all these items were that I spotted, and then going back and trying to steal them. But it's just more tedious to do this than it is to just grab toy boxes. I'd be interested in seeing the bonuses that are provided by said boxes, though. Nicely done. Didn't even have to have Andrew spin his stuff. Andrew's still equipped with the charging station, which lets you plug yourself into a nearby outlet. Dad, why don't you just use an attack if something's not killed so that we can see one of their attacks? Nope. stop looking. Isn't there a phone ring? There was. Really, that's what this music is. It sounds like phones in the background. Not rotaries either. The music work in this game has been very enjoyable too. Sure, I've had a few tracks that I've been towards. But there's a difference between there being a few tracks that I'm towards and being like, these sounds are trash. Why don't we try to take that uncomfortable couch? And after we do everything right, there. Attack 13. Let's see what that beholder over there can do. Damn it, punch. It's fine. It's fine. Try again. Or we'll obliterate them. Try, say, decaphobia. Let's have Dad use a thermal bomb, because he's full of moxie points. Oh no, not the force of darkness. Ah. Looks like the spider dungeon has still had the most dangerous enemies thus far of the optional places we visited. You know, I'm reminded of Legato at this point. And I'm trying to think why I'm reminded. There was a jail cell that was burst open, yeah? In Legato, it was near where we found the light bulb that we had to pause time in order to get. Was that a cat drawing on the back of that wall? In that jail? We're gonna have to look at that after this dungeon. Oh, come on, how can you catch me red-handed when you're dead? It's impossible. Couldn't have happened. Go to sleep, Lars. Alright, 13, what do you have? What are you gonna do to us? Die. That's what you're gonna do. Saturday. This gives us an opportunity to just keep leveling up Rotting Jack-O-Lantern thanks to work ethic there. Grumble Bear, still the lowest one now, after what we did with the 50 style vampire. everything's been shut. So this is fucked up. I was just writing about this in the comments. With Hades? Yeah, it was Hades. And I made a note that, I had fucked up things in my imagination too as a kid. Shy, sickly, and... Well, my mom and brother really enjoyed horror movies, and my mom also really enjoyed serial killer books. She found them fascinating, but it resulted in her strongly warning my brother and I about what would happen to us if we went out with strangers. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, now I've got all that in my head. I've actually unsettled myself more than this area has. Or, it probably is. Still attributable to the area. Okay, 13 does a weak point. That's good information to have. Though if I do die, that save's not gonna matter. I will walk back so I can skip through these fights. I can actually see where I'm going. A little bit of damage we sustained is probably fine. But just in case. Because, you know, our good friend Punchinaka is bleeding out there. Lest you forget. Another perk to having all these levels in Flower is all the hit points and moxie points Jimmy has. Which is good stuff. Good stuff. I was thinking about whether or not I wanted to start running from these encounters to conserve my strength. I got the uncomfortable couch now. I think we've seen all the enemy types there are going to be for it. I just made a... Who are the skin thieves? Well, now I'm really reminded of Legato. Ugh. You notice Mr. Cat's clothes out there in the hallway? This game's doing a nice job of swerving me away from the boss encounter. Great eyes. easy to forget how much distance you can clear when you can skip those fights. It's been a while since we've been able to do that in one of these dungeons. Got like a Stanley Parable vibe here, though it's not really applicable with the ringing phone. Just with the ringing phone, not with anything else we've seen in this optional dungeon. Then Stanley went to fight the horrific Shadow Cat. So the aesthetic for this place, again, is cool. This is the first time we've seen, like these effects, like what's happening in the background here of the enemies in an optional dungeon. Where it's not just pitch black, but, you know, a monochrome. It's a strobing monochrome. That said, while it's cool, I'm also unsettled here. Mr. Cat is watching. Okay, so we're gonna see what horrific, like, group attack he's got. Nice crit, by the way, Jimmy. Because I'm going to, pursue my game plan here. You might as well. Oh, over 6,000 damage. What a beautiful crit there. Looks like this dungeon is only going to be one video long. He says in his hubris. I know Rough House is a group attack, but I don't have, Pulverizing Light equipped. Alright, instant death. Good. In some ways that makes him more dangerous than the Whisper Weaver. Well, at least with that, the Whisper Weaver had the terminal effect, where you still got to get usage out of the character. Here with the cat, there was a setup with the Yowl, which you could have startled out of, so possible to prevent. Especially since this dungeon is not as powerful as the ones that we visited to face. I reckon that's because this one is easier to access. All you have to do is have the inkling to head back to Smile. For the Whisper Weaver, you've gotta think to go under the cave in Giant Garden and use the pumpkin and then wait. The Mad Queen requires you to use the vampire power-up in the Queen's bedroom, which I suppose you could just not see at all, because you might miss that ladder that's there by the bed. And, the toy box. I should roll that while talking. Well, yeah. The toy box requires you to not have Mom in the party. Alright. Definitely dangerous hits. Had I come to Mr. Cat first, when I started doing all this quest backtracking, this fight would have been much harder. We've gained numerous levels since the start of this side-tracking marathon. You know, we had to deal with the Whisper Weaver, among other things. which has been the most compelling boss fight for me thus far in the game. So this is just a circumstance of order. Had I done this as soon as it became available, he would have been much harder. Alright, we've got a slow conversion, we've got a doctor's bag, and a pet turtle. So the doctor's bag is for Mom only again. It makes heals 50% stronger. It also doesn't provide any attack or magic attack bonuses, or at least the coin purse does. So you've got an option here of whether you just want Mom to be your dedicated healer. Combine that with the manual we got for her, Sunny Day. It restores 75% of party HP. We have slow conversion, which converts HP into MP for 5 turns. An interesting one. I don't know whether I'm compelled to use that more than anything else on the board. It's not an instant thing either. Like, that's something you have to spend a turn activating. But it can counteract, if you're willing to burn the health, it can counteract something like mana burn or focus. But in the case for Andrew, we've got the charging station, which is a weapon instead of a manual for him. And then a turtle. +4 defense. You'll need at least one more for a proper stack. Nice. What isn't nice is that I'm going to need a break.